All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are continuing the recent runner technical analysis videos looking at CALA and GNS. Look, I often say with these, it's less about finding this big pop. It's more about knowing what to do the day after, okay? Look, I would love to find this 64 before, right? But just looking at the technicals, I mean, there was really nothing that would have said this is coming, right? So don't get too disappointed if you miss these. Just get ready for what to do, right? It could definitely keep going or it could definitely pump and dump, right? So the goal is to just kind of know what's needed, right? So with that, before getting into the details of what are we going to do, same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. This is the first time I'm looking at this stock, so I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we're done up here, we'll look at the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe. It does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for your time in watching this, okay? And then if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I'm not here pretending to be perfect or some like stock guru, right? Like these are just my opinions, and if yours are better, I really do want to hear them, okay? So with all that, let's get going. Look, I'm going to say it one more time. Don't get disappointed if you miss this 64 day, okay? It's obviously, I would have loved to put all my money into this, but like that's just not realistic, right? And if you're looking for that, you're quickly going to mess up your account, okay? For me, what's really important is what's about to happen. So before we talk about the immediate, let's just zoom out a little bit, okay? So look, this stock has definitely done some pretty bad stuff. All it's really done is traded under the 20 and the 50 for a good while. Some sort of monster thing happened here, okay? I have absolutely no idea what it was. It's a pharmaceutical company, right? I don't cover a lot of pharmaceuticals because there's so much like FDA monster news that can make this thing go up and down. Like I actually stay away from the pharma stocks, okay? That said, I'm assuming they got some sort of good news. And look, it went from I get a couple dollars to almost 50, right? So definitely some nasty profits and a real easy reason to cool off, right? And look how high the RSI got. It literally hit the hundreds, right? 96, 93. I mean, come on. You definitely need to cool down, right? So what it ends up doing is coming all the way down. And what's really cool, because look, you hear me say it often, right? Green can really quickly turn devastatingly red, right? But it didn't. This 200 held it a bit, and then obviously the 100 held it a bit, right? And then instead of falling, look, something happened. I don't know if there was news. I don't know if it was just, look how low the RSI was and it was time for a little recovery, right? I'm not here pretending I know what happened. What I do care about is what happens next, right? And this is where we're going to draw some lines. Look, I am not in this stock, but honestly, I would really consider it if it can break this. Look, this day right here closed at basically 19, right? 1897, that's the top number. I'm going to lower this a little bit to get a little closer to that if I can. Something like that. All right. And then I think it was 1898. Let's just cancel. Let me do this correctly. Hold on. What did this day close at? Yeah, 1897. So let's just edit this. This is 97. And then I'm going to want my alert just a penny above that. Basically, you know what? Let's just do it at a flat 19. Let me know when we hit $19. Again, an alert is not an immediate buy notification, but it's definitely a, hey, come check it out. And why do I like this? Look, I would love to get over the last real big candle, right? Obviously, this is another candle. We'll draw some lines here soon. But yeah, if we can get over this, I do believe there's going to be some nice trading, you know? And look, we're still not over all the moving averages. Obviously, we make a monster move breaking 4 out of the 5 we have, right? Couldn't get over the 50 just yet, right? But if you're going to break 4 on a single day, I need monster confirmation, right? And in my head, you break this and you go up, you're on your way to making some good monster confirmation, right? I can see this being another place that it potentially stops. And then I can see this being another place it potentially stops. These are basically, oops, sorry, close enough. These are basically the next points up if we can get over this, okay? Now, I'll tell you this much. I definitely love the MACD. I wish it was in the positives, right? But I do see a little bit of green peeking up, and it's been such a long green under red that I'm glad it's at least going, but it's not as loud as this. I really wish they were both as loud, right? But that's a beautiful RSI with a relatively low number. I don't like this volume right here. I'll be real honest with you, okay? Just, I guess as you zoom out, it's not that bad, but just relatively speaking, I mean, this was definitely a good loud one, but after that one, this is a bit much. It's definitely a lot higher than these two peaks, and I mean, again, unless there was some legitimate news, we more than 7x'd the volume, right? So the last thing I want to have happen is us drop volume down here, down to like 2 or 3 million. That's going to hurt this thing, right? If we don't get to this line, and again, look, if you want another quicker entry, hey, maybe you can get in around 1703. If you can break this 50 moving average, hey, maybe you'll get a couple dollars, basically $2 earlier than I'd get in. For me, I'd want to get in over that if conditions are right? But yeah, if it breaks the 50, which again is at 1702, so 1703 it's I'm not going to set the alert, but hey, someone can if they want, right? But if this wasn't going to go up, I can easily see it getting stopped right here at 1325, give or take 1330 at the 20 moving average, or right here all the way down at 12, right? So as much as there's a, hey, this thing might hit 40, this thing definitely might hit 12, right? And look, it's a matter of risk versus reward, right? Going down to 12 is a decent percent down, right? Obviously going up a lot is a good number, right? So it's always a matter of risk and reward. But for me, I'm a fan of, there's no such thing as a guaranteed trade. There's no such thing as like safe trade, right? But for me, it feels a little safer over that, right? And I'm willing to give up the $2 to hopefully catch a little bit more than that, right? Just my 2 cents. But overall, like I said, I like these two. For me, it's more about volume. And as I zoom out, look, if we can get this tomorrow, if we can get 14, if we can get 10, if we can get more volume than Friday, oh man, there's definitely good reason to believe it'll go this way, right? And honestly, I don't know what the news is. If you know the news, throw it in the comments and hey, that might change my stuff, right? But overall, I just care about the lines, right? Let's look at the weekly. Okay, look, where are we on the weekly? This 20 moving average did its job. It definitely did, right? We basically came to 50% candle. You hear me talk about that often, right? I'm glad we didn't lose 50. I'm glad we didn't lose the bottom of this guy. That's actually really important that we didn't, right? But yeah, if we didn't go up, there would have been a quick drop down to this 7 based on the weekly, right? So at the minimum, we're just in these 3 lines. And again, I actually feel a lot better putting that line there because that's roughly where the 50 might open on Monday. I don't know the math of how the lines work, right? But I'm just kind of guessing. So yeah, get over that line makes me feel a lot more comfortable here. But again, there's reason to believe it'll come maybe around to 38 or 41 if the conditions are right. Because again, just break this little plateau, break this plateau, which is where our line is, and then yeah, just beautiful stairs of red, at least on the weekly, right? So yeah, this is more about how it opens than the guarantee of tomorrow, okay? All right. GNS. It's really funny. I remember GNUS, that genius, but then all of a sudden this GNS started to take off, okay? So I do remember this little run right here. I for sure do. It was a very, very loud run. Again, just and we'll get into the immediate shortly, right? But just you got to keep things realistic, right? Somebody went from roughly speaking 40 cents all the way to $5, right? They really don't care if we drop all the way here, right? Hopefully they sold up here and made some nasty money, right? I'm always a rooter for other people making money. But look, you lose the 8, bad things happen. You literally come to the last moving average. You get an RSI that's super low at 19, right? I generally say 30 is where you should start seeing some sort of recovery, right? So last moving average, low RSI, there was a lot of reason to believe we would get caught. Was there anything that said, hey, we were going to get a 60 burger? No. All right. And I'm telling you, don't feel bad that you missed this candle. If your game is to catch these, I used to do that. It was my younger, more gambling days. And I promise you that that's not the game. The game is what's going to happen next time. And I'll be honest with you, I am not liking this chart. I definitely like the first one a little more than the last one, right? But look how many days we're under the 8 moving average. Really, it's been since this day right here, right? Since the 17th. A little bit more than half a month has been under the 8, and we're still under the 8. I'm glad we did break the 200, right? But, you know, I just, they're again, I don't know if there's any news here. I don't know what this news was. In my head, this is a little bit of a meme stock, right? So, hey, maybe there was something justified. But honestly, I don't think this is going to close over the 50 moving average on Monday. I think we're going sub 320 here. Again, if there's actual legitimate news, throw it in the comments, right? And we'll conversate, and you might change my mind. But I just don't see us breaking the 20. I don't like this MACD very much. RSI, again, I see this more as a bounce recovery than anything substantial. And look, volume's been down here. We definitely went from what was this, 3 million? Oh, no, it was 22. No, volume was 3 million. Yeah, we went from 3 million to 60. We 20x'd it, right? Are we going to hold something like that? I don't know, right? And again, if we drop down here, if we drop a little lower in volume, that could get really ugly. Would be horrible if we lose this line. I'll say that for sure, right? Do not lose the 100. You want to at least stay within, because look, we're in a cluster of 5 moving averages, right? All we're kind of doing is going horizontal until we break that and fly up, or lose that and fly down, right? So it's simple as that. I'll draw this line right here. Again, a little higher than the 20. And yeah, if you break that candle, that's going to be pretty nasty. We'll see what it looks like over that on the weekly. And then I'll draw this. That's roughly, I guess I'll lower it a little. Yeah, it's about there. That's about 50% this candle. If we lose the 100, this is the next place to hold it before, yeah, we drop pretty much to down here. You know what I mean? There's really little reason to believe we would drop anywhere other than that, right? So these are at least the lines down. Let me see what I already have some lines up. You can see I was watching the stock at one point. I think we made a video on this one back in the day. But yeah, I think this still holds pretty well. Yeah, I do think this still holds pretty well. You break this, and yeah, you're going to be making your way up. And I mean, there's definitely some silly things that can happen here, but I promise nothing's going to happen until it breaks the 20 moving average at 525. And again, we don't care about a one-day break. We definitely care about the next day, right? So Tuesday is probably the day this would go crazy and sustain, all right? Monday's job is to break this line, close up here, give me a belief that we're actually over all these moving averages, and then Tuesday should go, right? So that's a little bit more what I'm looking. But one more time, I see more bad here than good. I really do. I don't like that we're under the 8 and the 20. All I'm really seeing is a technical recovery to the 8 and probably a drop down. You know what I mean? I don't see this closing over here. I actually see this closing maybe around 275. Hopefully not any lower than that. Just my opinion. Tell me if you disagree, please. This is not a good weekly either, right? Again, we actually did close under the 8. RSI is not looking good. Yeah, MACD is definitely in the positive, but I'm kind of seeing a slowdown, maybe getting even ready, and just ugly volume, right? So way more bad on GNS than we saw in the first one. So again, I appreciate your time so much. If you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments. I swear I'm not a hater, okay? Otherwise, I'll be making more videos. Thank you so much.